Abe Mittleman is representing the New York State Federation of Taxi Drivers. Thank you.
Well,
for coming.
I'm not representing the New York State Federation of Taxi Drivers. That's
But you are
an
one.
organization that I know about.
Okay.
But I am representing taxi drivers. My association is with the Vinnie Fleet Association, okay, of which we have a newspaper and I'm the editor. Okay, I've also been associated with the New York City taxi business for 39 years, and I've done a lot of driving. Okay, so just call me a cab driver. Okay, I am not accustomed to this type of forum. However, I welcome it. Okay, I'm your average guy. I do most of my talking in the front seat of my cab. Okay. 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon is when I found out I was going to be here. I was in a repair shop fixing a taxi, and I got home late last night, and like a college student cramming for a final exam, I made a lot of noise. Okay, so I'm going to express to you. I was asked to be here by Assemblyman Ball's office. Okay, after we had contacted him concerning his petition. We used to partition, you know, so I said that one. Okay, but his petition that the MTA should be audited, we feel strongly about that because New York City taxi drivers, although the payroll tax is being talked about mostly, few are addressing this surcharge that has been put upon us. Okay, and I just want to express to you our objections and tell you why we object, okay, and why we think, you know, I don't have the answers on what should be done ultimately, okay, but I can tell you why we think that this is wrong, okay, and first of all, and I'm going to refer to my notes, okay, and I'll take questions. I like to answer questions, okay. Taxis are a public transportation service owned privately by thousands of owners and drivers and should not be made to subsidize public transportation. Okay, taxi drivers should not be tax collectors. Okay, there's no guarantee that the tax will be paid to the taxi driver, even though the driver will be responsible to hand over the tax collected or not. Okay, passengers can easily offset the tax. Now, and it's argued that the passengers are the ones that are paying the tax, but they can easily offset the tax, and I'm sure all of you have ridden in the New York City taxi cab. Okay, and I'm sure you know that when the drivers give you good service, you tip. Now, how much of that tax will be offset by passengers not tipping as much is questionable, but certainly some of it will be. So, you know, so even if the driver is collecting some of the tax will be coming out of his pocket. Okay? And the Taxi and Limousine Commission that sets the rate of fare has yet to bring in whether they will allow this surcharge to be added to the fare, even though it is written into the bill that it should be. Okay, but the Taxi and Limousine Commission in itself is a government agency, and they'll make that decision, I would imagine. Okay? The surcharge limits the ability of taxi cab owners and drivers to increase their rate of fare when our expenses are going up. And they are going up, and we have been absorbing these expenses on our own for some time now. Now, to ask the public to pay more, whether or not they'll allow us to charge more, would be greatly unfair in lieu of this, okay? Because how much does somebody want to pay for a taxi ride? Okay. Many taxi passengers are working people. They're struggling, just like the rest of us. Okay. They cannot afford this extra surcharge. Okay. It is an illusion that only wealthy people take taxis, and that was the argument for the surcharge. Totally untrue. The wealthy people take limousines. Okay, they don't take New York City taxi cabs. Okay, many are waitresses, waiters, working people, people that could come out late at night from a bar that had a little bit too much to drink. Okay, they can't afford the taxi cab ride home, but that's the only way they can get it. Okay, if you're a citizen, if you're in New York City, you will take a taxi at one time or another, whether you can afford it or not. It's been pointed out to me that taxi cab passengers already pay millions and millions of dollars. I have a figure here, I can't confirm it, but I'd say $75 million a year in tolls using the MTA bridges and crossings. So, now they're asking them to pay more to the MTA. Where does that money go? What do they do with the $75 million that the taxi cabs generate in toll money for them? Okay? Before taxi cab owners and drivers can get a rate of fare increase, they have to prove hardship. Has the MTA done that? I don't think so. Okay? And it establishes an unfair precedent that has no limit and no end. Allowing them to do this to the taxi cab industry means that, just like they raised the bridge and tunnel tolls, well, they'll say next year, well, we need more money. So instead of charging your passengers an extra 50 cents, maybe we should charge them $1. Maybe we should charge them $1.50. MTA workers have full benefits. They have health insurance. They make a lot more money than your average taxi driver. Okay? Taxi cab drivers, if they want health insurance, they have to pay for it out of their earnings. Many can't afford it. Okay? And finally, New York City taxi cabs are the only taxi cabs that have been given this burden unfairly. Why were we picked on when no other businesses were picked on, or no other taxi cab services were picked on? And with that, I pretty much expressed it all. I think, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Black cars don't have this.
No, there is none. It has only been done to New York City yellow medallion taxi cabs.
Yeah, I do have a question. There was, on the way up, I was reading another article in the paper, and it spoke about the Taxi and Limousine Commission now is talking about a pilot program for up to 1,000 cabs with the ride share.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay. Your general understanding would be that the 50-cent surcharge is on every fare.
Well, that's how it's supposed to work. That the bill, as I read it, asks the local authority, which is the Taxi and Limousine Commission, to raise the metered fare by 50 cents. Therefore, each drop would be an extra. So right now it's $2.50, it would be $3, and that 50 cents should be turned over to the taxi authorities for the MTA.
I think the biggest challenge we're going to have with this, if it ever comes to fruition, is the actual collection. I'm sure that if it hasn't been filed already, there will be extensive litigation on this to forestall any implementation of it.
Well, litigation would be good, I guess. We don't know how we're going to pay the tax. Okay, I read, a plan on that owners and drivers. The taxi owner, in essence, would be responsible to pay the tax, and they have to keep accurate records and declare the number of fares that they had quarterly, and pay that money. And I don't know all of the how exactly it's going to work. Yes.
Sales tax. Do you collect sales tax? Is that built into the meter?
No.
Do you collect sales tax at all?
No.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you for coming up.
Okay.
Bring a different perspective and something that certainly gets our attention.
Well, we just wanted to express the unfairness of this to the industry
Yeah.
and you know, hopefully you can help us.
Well, we certainly are out to try to do something if we can, so thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate you
Thank you.
coming up.
Okay, thank you.